amidst the weather. I know that it's going to get bad later, but I appreciate everyone for showing up and on this momentous occasion. And for the reason why we're here is the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Award for the city and the county and the community. Um, I would be remiss if I did not acknowledge the mayor. Um, she has been so gracious and so diligent to um, provide resources for this occasion year in and year out, and she is just dedicated to this award and this ceremony, and it means a lot to her. So I just want to thank her for allowing us to continue to have this every year. Next, I would like to acknowledge any elected officials that may be in the building or running for elected office in the upcoming election. I see Councilman Dan Rowe. If you could stand and just thank you, be acknowledged. And Diane Badiato is in the building, and she's going to serenade us with her rendition of the Star Spangled Banner in a few minutes. We also have the interim sheriff, future-elect Wayne Hudson in the back. And we also have Miss Leah Baez, who is here as well in the back as well. And I would like for her to be acknowledged. Just raise your hand. There you go. All right. So, few housekeeping issues to get us started. I am going to try to get us in and out of here as safely and as quickly as possible. There are restrooms across the hall. If you just walk across the bridge, the males are on the left, females are on the right. Please turn your cell phones to vibrate or airplane mode so we don't interrupt the program. And I greatly appreciate that. So as your master of ceremonies, I'm going to keep the ball rolling, and we're going to get started with the Star Spangled Banner by the County Assessor-elect Diane Badiato.
And you notice I didn't touch his mic that's clear up in the sky. Thank you for standing while we sing our national anthem. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Diane Badiato. That was excellent. Next, we have the Dr. Franklin T. Thompson, AKA Golden Throat, if you guys did not know, is going to grace us with Lift Every Voice and Sing, please, Dr. Thompson.
Unlike Diane, I'm going to try to reach up to the sky and get this microphone a little bit here. Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring. Ring with the harmony of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun of a new day be done. Let us march on till victory is won.
Yeah, I'm not that talented. Um, Before we get started with the opening remarks, I'm gonna lower the mic for Chief Warren. But I just wanted to remind us the reason why we're here. Dr. Martin Luther King said, he who is devoid of power to forgive is devoid of the power to love. There is some good in the worst of us and some evil in the best of us. When we discover this, we are less prone to hate our enemies. And that was by Dr. Martin Luther King. And I just wanted to bring us back to the reason why we're here. We're here to acknowledge the accomplishments of individuals who have displayed consistently throughout this year the principles and the teachings and the ideas of Dr. Martin Luther King. He was about love, unity, and equality. And I think the nominations that we have received this year by other people who acknowledge the work that these individuals who are being acknowledged today just speaks to it embodies everything that Dr. Martin Luther King stood for. So at this time, I just would like to have former Chief Thomas Warren, who is currently serving as the Mayor's Chief of Staff, come and give opening remarks.
Good afternoon, and thank you, Gerald. On behalf of Mayor Gene Stothert, I would like to welcome you, both those who are physically present and those who are virtual, as we commemorate the birthday of the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King. We will be recognizing and celebrating city and county employees for their contributions, and we'll also recognize a member of our community for the work that he has done in support of our small and emerging business program. In the city of Omaha, we are proud of our commitment to diversity, inclusion, and equity, specifically with the appointment of my colleague, Mr. Keith Station, who serves as the Director of Diversity and Inclusion for the Mayor's Office, and the work that is being performed by our Human Rights and Relations Department under the guidance of Dr. Franklin Thompson. And as we reflect on the life, the legacy, and contributions of Dr. King, I would just like to share a brief personal story. This past year, my wife and I, we really didn't travel much due to the pandemic, and in fact, we didn't fly at all. And so instead, we decided to take a road trip. We drove to Houston, first to visit my youngest daughter, but on the way back, we decided to visit, we drove through the states of Alabama and Tennessee, and where we wanted to visit some of the civil rights landmarks, particularly in Birmingham and Tennessee and Memphis. And so I would like to encourage you, if you haven't visited those cities, to go and visit the site of the National Civil Rights Institute in Birmingham. It's across the street from the 16th Street Church where those four little girls lost their lives. And the park where you see the images of the fire hoses and Bull Connor. But the Civil Rights Institute is right there in Birmingham, and I don't think people realize that it was actually Birmingham that was the epicenter for the Civil Rights Movement. People think of Dr. King, they think of the March on Washington. You may think about Bloody Sunday there, the walk from Selma to Montgomery, but it was actually Birmingham that was the epicenter. And then, of course, we had a chance to visit Memphis and the site of the Lorraine Hotel where Dr. King lost his life. It has been preserved. It is a National Civil Rights African American History Museum. And it also, across the street where James Earl Ray fired the fatal shot was preserved. And it's a history lesson, but it just reminds you of the sacrifices and what individuals like Dr. King and others had to endure just so that we could have basic rights like voting, like equal opportunity for employment, education, for housing. And so visiting those sites, it just reminded me of the contributions of Dr. King, not only his commitments to our society, our country, and even the world. And so as we celebrate today, let us renew our commitment to the values and principles of service to others in our community as defined by Dr. King's legacy. I'm looking forward to hearing the remarks from my friend Eric Ewing, and congratulations. I'm personally acquainted with a couple of award recipients. Congratulations to those of you who will be recognized today for your service to the city and to the county as well as our community. Thank you.
Thanks, Chief. Now I would like to have a representative from the county come and give her opening remarks. Now, this young lady, she is new to the county. I am excited to work with her. She comes with a lot of accolades. Miss Marissa Hattab.
I only have to adjust it a little bit because I'm tall myself. So, hi everyone. I am so honored to be standing before you today representing Douglas County. I am their new Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Officer, so in a very similar position as Mr. Keith Station for the city, in whom I'm very excited that we'll be partnering together and doing a lot of things. But I know today is super important, and it has been a priority and very important by both the county and the city for some years now. And so I do not take it lightly to be standing before you. I am completely honored to be able to represent the county in honoring this year's recipient. But I'm also honored to be able to be leading the charge with the county's DEI initiatives that are before us. And so I want to explain a little bit of what does DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion actually mean, because I have folks ask me that a lot. And it's really simple. Diversity, equity, inclusion, to its core, it centers people. It ensures that all people are treated with dignity, respect, experience belonging. It ensures that people are not just tolerated, but they're actually seen and they're valued. It creates a safe space for all of us to be able to show up as our full selves, and just to know that who we are is enough. And so I hope to be able to partner with Keith and the city in just creating spaces where our employees can thrive and succeed. So although I'm very excited that I'm introducing myself, I know that today is not about me. It's about the three individuals that have stood out. And so, before I dive into that, I do want to give you some specifics as far as why I've been brought into the county and what I'm actually going to be doing. So I'll be helping to examine our policies and our procedures to ensure that we are able to go through them with a lens of equity, to ensure that our practices are fair. I will be helping to create education and training, ensuring that everyone actually knows what DEI is, you know, not just the words, but an action as well. And I hope to be able to build stronger trust with our community, all the different communities of Douglas County. And so now I know this is not just about me, it's about the three individuals. And so there's things that they have in common with one another, and there are things that they have in common with Dr. King. And one of those components are they are servant leaders. And Dr. King says it best himself. Everybody can be great because everyone can serve. You don't have to have a college degree to serve. You don't have to make sure your subject and your verbs are in alignment to be able to serve. You only need a heart that is full of grace and a soul that's generated by love. And so these three people truly have hearts that are generated by love. And so I just want to say thank you for how you have shown up with integrity, with character, but most importantly for being servant leaders. Thank you.
Thank you, Marissa. At this time, I would like to bring Dr. Franklin T. Thompson back, AKA the Golden Throat, AKA my boss, back to the mic to introduce our keynote speaker for this afternoon.
Our keynote speaker today is Eric L. Ewing. Eric is a native of Omaha, Nebraska. He is married with 3 successful adult children and 4 grandchildren. He is retired from the United States Navy. Thank you for your service. He has worked in higher education as an academic dean, a manager of academic advising, an adjunct professor for Bellevue University, Metropolitan Community College, and the Omaha School of Massage and Healthcare. He has a master's degree in business management. He is currently working on his PhD in post-secondary education from Capella University. He is part of the Midlands Executive Institute class of 2018-2019, part of the Leadership of Omaha class 42 of 2019-2020. He is also part of a lead diversity class in the year 2020 and 2021. He's on the board of directors for 100 Black Men, also on the board of directors for the Omaha Community Council for Racial Justice and Reconciliation. That was the group that's taking care of the Will Brown monument that's out in front of our courthouse. And he's also co-chair of the annual African American History Challenge for high school students. Most of all, he is currently working as a director of the Great Plains History Museum. But most of all, we like degrees, and we like, to be able to show off medals and things like that. But in Martin Luther King fashion, the greatest thing that you can say about a man is what other people say about you. And one thing about Eric is that other people have only positive things to say. He does what he does, and he never seeks the limelight. Some of his friends do that, okay? But he doesn't. He'll serve the community of Omaha, and never is he out front saying, look at me, look at me, look at me, or trying to boast himself and be big. Martin Luther King said, in order to be a good leader, you have to be a good follower. And in that Martin Luther King sense of the word, that fits our speaker, Eric Ewing. And I appreciate his friendship because he keeps it real and he keeps it in the pocket with Martin Luther King principles. Join me in welcoming Mr. Eric Ewing.
I don't have to worry about adjusting the mic either, so. Thank everyone for being here today, and it is an honor for me to have this opportunity to talk to you today about Dr. King and some of the great things that he's done. As a native of Omaha, and particularly North Omaha, you know, growing up, imagining being here in city council and having an opportunity to talk to folks, definitely was not something I had envisioned back then. So this is an honor. But when Franklin reached out to me to participate in this event, at first I was going to say to him, okay, hey, Franklin, do you have the right Ewing? Are you sure you didn't mean to call John? You know, but I figured, well, what the heck, you know, he's already called me now, he can't back down. So, but today, you know, the topic of our discussion is learning to live together as one united people. Learning to live together as one united people. I'm going to move this a little bit because I can't see everyone. Not because I'm short, but I can't see everyone. And so I want to talk about just that thing. Learning to live together as one united people. You know, a lot of times, even when we talk about the city of Omaha, we break it into sectors. We have a North Omaha. We have a South Omaha. We have a West Omaha. And we have other outlying areas that don't want to give up their name even though they've been annexed into the city. And so we designate those things because it shows, that we're not a part of that bad part of Omaha. Whenever I talk about Omaha in the particular areas and sectors, you know, the analogy I use is a pie. Have you ever had a pie? A pie is a whole piece, right? Whole thing. Have you ever cut into a piece of pie and you bite into it and you go, oh my God, this is horrible. And then you go and say, well, let me cut off another section from another part of the pie, and maybe it'll taste better. Do you do that? Because you know if that one part is bad, does that not make the whole bad? So when we talk about Omaha and we talk about sectors of Omaha, we can't call one area of Omaha bad without calling all of Omaha bad, because it's all of one pie. So next time you hear someone want to sector off the areas, bring that to their attention. So does that not make where we live bad as well? Looked up a couple of definitions. Civil rights was one of them. And according to Merriam-Webster, civil rights is the rights of personal liberty guaranteed to U.S. citizens by the 13th and 14th Amendment to the Constitution and by acts of Congress. Equal rights is the just, fair legislation co-created by every form of unity assembly, unity council, unity legislature, unity senate, unity house of representatives, unity parliament, unity government, that guarantees all citizens have the similar just and fair rights that apply to each citizen. Not to some citizens, but to all citizens. When Dr. King gave his I Have a Dream speech on August 28th of 1963, some of the words that he used in his speech, he used the word we. And you know how many times he used the word we? 30 times he used the word we. He used the word freedom 20 times. He used the word ours 17 times. Of course, he used the word dream 11 times. Nation 10 and Americans 4. And he said, I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning to its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident that, and I'm going to change this from men, all people are created equal. The ultimate measure of a person is not where they stand in the moments of comfort. You know, I always tell people there's no comfort in change. Right now, you're probably sitting comfortably in your chair, and if you had to get up and move, it would be a little uncomfortable, right? So there's usually no comfort with change. Comfort is convenient, but where the change occurs is when there's opportunities for growth and development, to learn more, to work better together. Some of his other quotes from Dr. King, one quote says, the silence of the good people is more dangerous. The silence of the good people is more dangerous than the brutality of the bad people, because that enables the bad people to do what they do. Like an unchecked cancer, hate corrodes the personality and eats away its vital unity. It doesn't bring us together, it pushes us apart. It is always the right time to do the right thing, as Dr. King would say. Let's build bridges, not walls. We must learn to live together as a people or perish together. Who's going to finish it for me? I'm sorry? As fools. Right. And then darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that. I mean, these are some very powerful words that he used throughout his time. If Dr. King was here today, where would he say we are at in that unity, in bringing people together, in doing what's right, not just for ourselves, but for everyone? You know, I wore this mask here. I usually wear it when I go and I'm talking to kids, because it's, you know, it's got pow, bang, you know, like those sounds that Batman made, you know, superheroes made back in the day. But Dr. King was a superhero that didn't need pow, bang. His words was his weapon. His words were the words and the reasons why we're here today, to celebrate him and celebrate those who are receiving his award. So 20, 50, 100 years from now, what do you want the story to say about you? Thank you, I appreciate your time.
Thank you, Eric. That was awesome. It said some very powerful things that I hope everyone holds on to. At this time, to keep the ball rolling, I'm gonna have Dr. Thompson come up and introduce our musical guest.
First of all, I'd like to say that, Eric, I appreciate your comments very much. And again, thank you for the role modeling that you have given to the city. There's a lot of people that are about me, 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 me. I appreciate someone who's about we and us. Thank you very much for your leadership. As I prepare to introduce the guest singer, Nate, I need you to, this is your station, and there's a power cord right here. All you have to do is tap into it right here. Okay. And you go ahead and take care of that, Nate, while I introduce him. On your program, it says, celebrated Nebraska musician and songwriter. Well, you know, you got to back that up if you make a statement that way. And so I'm going to go ahead and back it up right now. This is a person who the late, great Preston Love Sr. said was the best bass player in Nebraska. And I would think that most of us would agree that Preston Love knows what he's talking about. I've been in the music business for a long time, and I believe that not only is he the best bass player in Nebraska, I think he's one of the top songwriters in Nebraska. And to back that up, I'd like to say that he and I co-wrote a song back in 1986 called Planet Jumper, and it won the award from the Omaha World Herald for best song in Nebraska. And then on top of that, he has played for many of the big bands in town, some of the famous ones. And he also had a residency in Las Vegas and would probably still be there now if he didn't have to come back and take care of ailing parents. But in addition to that, the music that you heard earlier doing as you were walking in, that was not a national artist, that was Nate Bray. You were listening to Nate Bray. And he is a collaborator of mine. We have co-written several songs together, and he has a wonderful repertoire of songs. And we go all the way back to Omaha Tech High School. And during the days when people such as the great Michael Driver, who probably is one of Omaha's better mentors, and so we learned under Michael Driver, and Nate continues to be a driving force in the music field. And so I'd like for you to welcome, with applause, Mr. Nate Bray.
Thank you so much, Dr. Thompson, my good friend in music. I won the Nebraska Blues Challenge in 2021, so I'll be traveling to Memphis, Tennessee to represent the great state of Nebraska. You are great, but it certainly is time that we rise up and live out the true meaning of our creed. I was born by the river, yeah, yeah. just like the river I've been running ever since. It's been a long time a coming, and I know change gon' come. Oh yes, it will. It's been too hard living, yeah. And I'm afraid to die. No one knows what's up there beyond the sky. It's been a long time a coming, and I know a change gon' come. Oh yes, and we. Whenever I go to my brother, and I say, help me please, help me please, help me brother please. Seems like he always winds up knocking on me. And I say, brother, can't you see I'm down on my knees? Oh, there was a time when I thought, oh Jesus, I wouldn't last too long. But now I think I'm able to carry on. It's been a long time a coming, and I know a change gon' come. Oh yes, and we. Not too many people know this verse, but I'll sing it for you. When I go to the movies, yeah, yeah. And I go downtown, even in Omaha. Somebody just keep telling me, don't hang around. It's been a long time a coming, and I know a change gon' come. Oh yes, and will. I know a change gon' come. Thank you.
All right, one more time for Mr. Nate Bray. Thank you. And I think that song was so appropriate because I think we're seeing that change. We're seeing the change because of individuals like who are being celebrated today. So at this time, I would like to have bring Marissa Hatta back up and um, our board chair, Ms. Nicole Mitchell, up for the employee awards, for the city and county. I would ask that um, the recipients of the awards. I know that you guys have accomplished a lot and are very proud. I just would ask that in lieu of time that we kind of keep our comments brief, respectfully. But I do want you to have an opportunity to be able to thank the people who nominated you as well. So just be mindful of our time. At this time, Marissa and Nicole.
Yes. So, before I share with you who this individual is, I wanted to share a very funny representation of who this person is. One of the words when I met with him today was humility. I believe that he carries such a genuine spirit of humility. So, long story short, his coworker, her name is Christy Nash. She's the one that nominated him, and I will be reading to you her words about who he is. But she said he came in yesterday, and she said, "Congratulations." Mind you, he does not know who nominated him. And she said, "Congratulations." And he said, "Who threw me under the bus? Who threw me under the bus? I just come to work to show up and do my job. Who threw me under the bus?" So she wanted me to let you know, Christy Nash is the one who threw you under the bus. And thank you for, thank you for just having such a humble and genuine spirit. So on behalf of Douglas County, I would love to present this year's reward to Haruna Suli. And so I'd like to share with you, he's a nursing assistant at the Douglas County Health Center. And I would just like to share with you the words of his nominator. She says, "Haruna, who is originally from Lagos, Nigeria, demonstrates many qualities that exemplify Dr. Martin Luther King. He demonstrates equality, not only from the resident standpoint, but also to our team members, who he helps to create a safe and workable environment. Our team members from all shifts and all floors respect him for his outgoing stance. He never wavers on his decisions to do what's best for the residents, especially not giving extra cookies to the residents. He does not bend about that. He's a hardworking individual who never misses a shift or day of work. If he is not here, all members wonder if something has happened to him, because he's always willing to take extra shifts and he's always there every day. He's an outstanding worker and a great asset to Douglas County. He loves his family and shows the utmost respect towards everyone, includes everyone, and he shows up tirelessly. I want to thank you." These are her words. "I want to thank you for living the motto of DCHC, the Douglas County Health Center. Hope lives here, not just for the residents, but you have demonstrated that hope also shows up in caring for your team members." So without further ado, I would love to present the Living the Dream Award to Haruna Suli. Would you like to say it? Humility, I'm telling y'all, humility.
I want to thank everybody, especially Christy that nominated me. I want to thank the administrators and my manager and the assistant Joanne present here. Judy have been the one that, I came from Colorado 4 years ago. And when I want to relocate to Omaha here, I applied to Douglas County Center, and Judy had to be the person that interviewed me online, on phone right at that time. And I got the job, and when I came here, I've been working with Douglas County. I love my co-workers, I love my residents to death, and they know that. Whatever we can do to make them safe is always my priority, and also the team. And my manager is over there, she knows too. And sometimes I just believe like I'm just working, I'm doing my best. And what I believe in this life is like when I'm not expecting any return or any thank you if I do anything. I just want to live at the end of the day when I'm going to my bed. Did I help somebody today? Did I make somebody happy today? Did I do something for somebody that can see me tomorrow and say like, you at least you appreciate what you do. I don't need thank you. But anyway, I'm honored to take this award, and I will continue. I don't know, maybe I deserve this award anyway. I told her yesterday, did I deserve it? But I talked to her. I don't know that she was the one that nominated me. I talked to her. I said, I don't know who nominated me. Who threw me under the bus? I'm just here to come and work. I said, hey, you deserve it, you deserve it. I said, well, if you say so, I don't know if I deserve it. Yeah, I thank God for everything, and I thank my family for their support, my kids. My son is in Colorado. He's not here today, but my daughter is here. Fortunately, they have a snow day, whatever the weather is, so she's not going to school. She was able to attend, and my wife, I have my cousin there with the wife too. They are here to grace the occasion. Thank you, everybody. And this one will give me more, it's kind of inspiration to me to do more to people and to help wherever you can. That is it. And God bless United States of America. Thank you.
I have the pleasure of introducing Mr. Sean Peoples. Sean is from North Omaha, a native. He's the son of Clyde and Betty Peoples. He's number 12 of 13 children. Sean is married to Robin Peoples and has one daughter, Alasia. Please forgive me if I messed your name up. Sean graduated from Omaha North High School and received his Bachelor's of Applied Science degree in Administration to Justice Studies from Northern Arizona University. Sean says, go Jacks. Sean began working to improve his community by starting as a volunteer for the Boys and Girls Club of the Midlands and eventually became a branch executive where he won the City and State Youth and Teen Programming Awards in education and secondary educational readiness in both Omaha and Tempe, Arizona. Sean has served as a recreational professional for the cities of Scottsdale and Chandler, Arizona, where he also won the Arizona Parks and Recreation Association in 2017 Educational Program Awards for his team, the Leaders in Training Program, which is still running to this day. Soon after Sean joined the City of Omaha Parks and Recreation and Public Property Division, he was awarded the Nebraska Recreation and Park Association Outstanding Recreational Professional Award in 2018 and 2019. Sean is currently an executive board member of the Nebraska Recreation and Park Association and also a member of Mayor Stother's Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Employee Advisory Board, where he is part of the team working to create team mentorship, employee programs in collaboration with the Park and Recreation and Public Property. Sean demonstrates the teaching of Dr. Martin Luther King in every facet of his life. Not only does he goes beyond and be up at work to include everyone, but he strives to do the same thing in his professional life. He is a true definition of what values Dr. King promoted. Nothing describes Sean's personal mission better than his quote from the bottom of his email signature by Stephen Frost, unless you consciously include, you will unconsciously exclude. Diversity is the reality, inclusion is a choice. The specific words encompass what Sean is all about and signify why Sean deserved this award. At this time, I would like to present the employee award to Mr. Sean Peoples.
First off, I'd like to thank everybody for coming today, and also like to thank my friend Pamela Prell Duncan here and her colleague for being here for our ASL family as well. As I was sitting here listening to Mr. Bray, his beautiful song that he was playing today, you couldn't help but start reviewing back in time and start seeing some of the steps and some of the people that you actually helped you through to this point. Seeing some of our family friends, my other brother, Mr. Tommy over here, who's been there for me in some of the darkest of times too, but also he helped me make the right decision. And I also want to recognize some of the people that weren't here to make it with us today. Wish my mom and dad could see me doing what I'm doing, but I know they're watching down with great pride. Going forward, we got to do this together, y'all. It's a long journey. That's why I'm proud to be a part of the DEI team, and with great friend and colleague, Mr. Keith Station. Couldn't dress like I thought about wearing a suit today, but I didn't want to. His shoes was killing me. That'd take me down. But I mean, it's a long journey, and is precisely what Mr. Thompson said is we can't be quiet about this. We have to stand up and we have to work together on this. Regardless of what the journey is or what game we playing, what sport we at, we can't win this game if everybody's not playing and not in the team together. So with that being said, we want to keep going forward, always be there for each other, and hopefully we can do more, forward more with the city. I enjoy seeing Mr. Gerald, seeing the kids. We got babies here, the teens, all the way up to the elderly, and I know my senior program is watching right now at Adams Park. They probably loud and probably didn't take a break from Domino's, but that's what they do. But with that being said, I'm gonna keep it short. Thanks again to everybody. Thank you, Tommy, for being there for me, man. And thanks my colleagues and all my colleagues with the Parks and Rec for recognizing. Thank you.
Congratulations again to both county and city recipients. At this time, I want to have Mr. Christian Espinoza, who is the program facilitator of the Small Emerging Business Program, come, and I think our community award is a great award that we give away, where we acknowledge someone in the community for doing doing the work of Dr. Martin Luther King. And it is very near and dear to my heart every year. I look forward to see who in the community has stepped up and is doing great work. So at this time, Mr. Christian Espinoza.
I think I have to adjust the microphone. Thank you so much. I don't know how to start introducing this person. He's an amazing person. He's been a great colleague and person that has helped the community, and especially the business community. So I just want to go ahead and start talking about Wesley Duran III. Wesley Duran III is the executive director of the REACH initiative of the Greater Chamber of Omaha. REACH is an education-based capacity building program for the small and emerging business. REACH has been a strategic partner with the City of Omaha for supplier diversity efforts since 2015, and we appreciate that, Wesley. Wesley is also responsible for the Minority Economic Development Council, which has a responsibility of setting objectives and executing the Greater Omaha Chamber's scope of work related to minority-owned business attraction and retention efforts. Prior to be of the Chamber responsibilities, he supervised the Chamber's domestic and international business attraction efforts,
kind of like a big deal there. Wesley was one of the founding board members and served 3 years on the board of directors of the ACE mentoring program, inspiring youth to pursue careers in design and construction. He also served 6 years on both the executive committee of the board and the Urban League of Nebraska, on the board of the Habitat for Humanity, Omaha. Wesley has served on the board of directors of the Nebraska Enterprise Fund since 2007 and served 3 consecutive terms as a board chair and continues to serve as advisory board and the credit committee. And if you know about that organization, please look below. He's founding and current member of the Entrepreneur Education Collaborative, an Omaha-based collaboration and synergetic technical assistance that provides providers that was formed in 2016. In 2020, Wesley earned the Economic Development Master Practitioner designation. A consortium of universities, including Clemson and TCU, sponsored the Advanced Economic Development Leadership course. Wesley, besides all this work for the business world, he actually has coached 20 youth teams, including t-ball, basketball. He coached it? And the youth soccer for Omaha, in the YMCA, and several years of the youth soccer and Omaha Football Club. Among so many awards, I just want to list a few of them. He has been recognized as for the African American Leadership Award in Business, Urban League of Nebraska, Men of Courage Award, Black Men United, and the Gold Award for Equity Inclusion Program and communities over for the communities over 500,000, and the International Economic Development Council, just to mention a few of them. Without further ado, I want you to welcome me to congratulate Wesley Duran III. Thank you.
So today, I reflect upon how lucky Omaha is to have so many people that are worthy of receiving this recognition. That's why I'm so humbled to have my body of work in the community be recognized in such a way. I fully understand that I do not stand solely here on the merits of my own actions, but I stand on the shoulders of those that came before me. The road is not always easy, nor will it always be. There is a long journey ahead of us. Dr. King would have us remember that courage is an inner resolution to go forward despite obstacles. So many people have toiled for so long to enable me to be in a position to significantly contribute. I would like to take just a moment to recognize some of those people. I'd like to thank my parents, Winsley Duran Jr. and Sonia Duran. It was their commitment to improving their community that put me on this path. Growing up, my father was heavily involved in many uplifting community organizations. My mother was a career-long educator that believed in the importance of education, especially for those that are often ignored and left behind. The Omaha Chamber has allowed me the latitude to engage in and launch community-changing initiatives. And most importantly, I could definitely not be here without the love, support, and understanding of my family. The grace my wife Lori has extended to me has made all the difference in the world. In fact, today is her birthday, and she's here helping me celebrate me. There is no way to express the degree of immense gratitude that I have for her. My children Brianna, Caden, and Nathan are all here today. They are the impetus for my work. I want to leave them an even better Omaha than I discovered when I got here 30 years ago. My in-laws, Paul and Janet DeSeely, have been such a great help and an inspiration over the years. And there are just so many friends, colleagues, and strategic partners, including my amazing staff that is here today as well. And this administration, including Human Rights and Relations, that have been so instrumental. All of these people deserve recognition because community building is a team sport. We are all better together. Everyone here today is absolutely needed in order to fulfill the dream of Dr. King. I call on you to do your part and to remember Dr. King's words when he said, "The time is always right to do what is right." Thank you.
Thank you. Before I bring Dr. Thompson up for the closing remarks, I just want to say one more thing about Mr. Winsley Duran. He is an awesome human being outside of his many accolades. Winsley does things that for other people and doesn't ask for a thank you, doesn't ask for to be recognized after it's done. He just does it because it needs to be done. And for that, I thank you for your contribution to this city, Mr. Duran. All right, you well deserved. All right, now this time I'll have Dr. Franklin Thompson come back up and get us out of here.
Okay, a couple of announcements. First of all, I'd like all of the winners to stick around afterwards and take a group picture. And hopefully, if you don't mind taking a picture without a mask, I just think that the public needs to kind of see your full face. Thank you to the public officials that are here today. I appreciate your support. I also want to announce that the city does 2 Martin Luther King ceremonies. One is on this Friday for the city and the county, but on Monday will be the junior and senior high school students of metro area. They're going to be at the Holland Performing Arts Center this Monday at 5:30, and they are going to do original short essays, poems, vocal music, instrumental music, dance, and they're going to express their views of what Martin Luther King means to them in terms of living the dream. And then they get trophies and cash prizes. And so it's a free event. Feel free to come out. We will be wearing masks and we will have COVID protocols, but we appreciate if you come out and represent the city and support our children. Our children, if you haven't noticed, these kids today remind you of the kids back in the 60s. They're a little bit vocal and they have something to say. And I think we need to listen to what they have to say. So please come out on Monday, again at the Holland Center, 5:30, and support our youth. Once again, I'd like to thank the mayor for giving funds and time for this event, and for also the Monday event. One of the things that the kids are going to get is the grand prize winner gets $1,000, but the mayor's put in about $10,000 towards this whole effort. I want to thank Mr. Warren for stepping in and representing the administration. Mr. Warren is one of my mentors. I don't say that to him often, but I appreciate you, Thomas, for what you do for the community. I want to thank Karen Book and her staff from the county. This is a city and county event, and so even though you see a lot of HRR people up here, it's really both departments. I want to thank that good-looking guy called Gerald Kuhn, who happens to be single. And we're grooming him for leadership, and we hope that even though the corporate world may call him, that he'll stay with the public sector and go ahead someday and follow. Maybe one day we'll see him up here as a councilman or some other elected official. It's always good for us older people to get the younger people ready. There's too many people my age hanging on, trying to hang on to every little ounce of power and prestige they can, and we're not even getting the young people ready. That is ridiculous. we have to reach out, reach back, and prepare the young people to fill the pipeline. So I didn't come to preach, but I couldn't resist myself saying that. Thank you very much again, Mr. Ewing, for your service to the community with the Black History Museum and for blessing us today. I will take to heart those Martin Luther King quotes that you said and continue to learn from them. Special thanks to our winners, Haruna, Sean, and Winsley. All of you are great role models, and thank you for what you do, and I know the light will continue to shine wherever you go. In summary, I would like to say that the job of building Omaha is more than just brick and mortar. It's more than just streets and buildings. So much more than skyscrapers and institutes. If we're going to build Omaha, we have to build up people. And of all the things that we have, all the responsibilities that are given to us, that one is the most trickiest. It's because in the areas of building buildings, we have doctor's degrees. But when it comes to people relations, human relations, race relations, people relations, some of us are still in grade school. But if we take the words that were spoken today, we can graduate and we can get to a higher level. Thank you for coming out on a day where I don't think there's 4 inches of snow out there yet. Gerald was telling me, do you remember the day, Dr. T, when we went to school and there was 4 inches of snow and we still had to walk uphill both ways? Well, I will say that the weather now is so unpredictable, so you don't know whether the snow is going to come at 1 o'clock or 5 o'clock or 8 o'clock. So once again, thank you for braving the weather, and thank you for accepting the call to change agency. You are greatly appreciated. Thank you. You are dismissed. There are snacks in the back. Feel free to meet and mingle a little bit. I'll play some social justice music while you're mingling around. And once again, we would like to have pictures up front. Thank you.